Woo. Good evening, family. Wow. Um, I don't even know where to start. Gonna be honest with you. I'm new to this in terms of YouTube and um, certainly wasn't expecting to be here tonight in this second place. And I would ask how you're doing, and I think that's the polite thing to do. So, but I think I kind of already know the answer. How are you?
I'm calm. I mean, just like you asked me right before we came on air. You're like, why are you like this? I'm used to it. Like, this is your first year doing Baltimore Ravens YouTube. And before, you may have taken the losses to yourself in your home, but now you're sharing it with an audience. This is my third year. This is my third year being in this position of we go into a game where we're supposed to win. We know we're going to win. We've done everything during the regular season to put ourselves in a position to win, but we just come up on the short end of it. Listen, we outpassed the Bills. We outrushed the Bills. I'm surprised Derrick Henry only had 16 rushes. That surprised me. I mean, they did rush Justice Hill a little bit, I guess, to kind of compensate for things, but just the turnovers, just the ill-advised turnovers. Mark Andrews, that one was a backbreaker. Like, that was, we could have gone up, taken a lead in the game, to control, and he fumbled the ball. Then at the end, wide open. They left him wide open. Wide open. And Jose says this a lot about Mark Andrews throughout the years. He says Mark Andrews will try to make easy catches look difficult. And sometimes that is to his own detriment. The ball hit him in the chest. All he had to do was cradle the ball, and we're going into overtime. Now, whatever happens in overtime happens in overtime. Our quarterback put us in a position to tie the game. People say it was the wrong choice to go for two earlier in the game. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But we still had an opportunity to tie the game up at the end. Whether it was a kick, missed kick, whatever, missed 2-point conversion, Mark Andrews was there. Lamar Jackson made the throw to tie the game. Lamar made a lot of throws. It's just that we just couldn't stop the turnovers. It's an unfortunate situation because it's something that we see each and every playoff season. Untimely turnovers. Just, it derails us. Just us not being disciplined. This is the first year that I can honestly say the defense didn't do its job. Normally in the past, we hold some of the best quarterbacks in the league under their league average and make them look mortal. This year we couldn't do it, and it's surprising because it was the run defense that let us down. We thought Brandon Stevens just being a liability, they were going to pick on him throughout the game, and they got him a couple times. But for the most part, they didn't do too much damage with Brandon Stevens. Only one that really hurt was that first down early in the first quarter. But outside of that, it's here and there. It's that we couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop them from being the more physical team. We couldn't stop them from manhandling us. They played Baltimore Ravens football versus the Baltimore Ravens. Like, we couldn't do anything. All of our high priced guys that we have in here, the ones that we pay, the ones that we say are the true leaders of the defense, the ones that we say are transcendent players, did nothing. They did nothing this game. But it was a total team loss. Like, we bungled things up offensively, defensively, special teams, like coaching, everything contributed to us losing this game. But I think that Mark Andrews was the one guy that hurt us the most. And I've been saying for years and years and years and years, Mark Andrews ain't that guy. And y'all tell me, Hendo, you don't know what you're talking about. Mark Andrews is amazing, top 5 tight end. He ain't 4, 5, or 3. And he's shown me throughout his career. This is now year 7 that he's gone into a playoff game and messed things up. 2019 started the game off with the tip ball that led to the interception that started the downfall of the 2019 Ravens losing the playoff game. It's always something that has to do with Mark Andrews not showing up when needed that contributes largely to us losing this game. I hope they don't bring him back. And this is nothing personal against him. He contributes nothing when it matters the most to me. Nothing. Isaiah Likely, we've been saying this ever since last season. He's clearly the better tight end. Clearly the better tight end. But yet and still, Lamar and Andrews have disconnection. That's all we kept saying. He's Lamar's go-to guy. Well, how can you be my go-to guy? Because when I look at go-to guys throughout the NFL, when I look at Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, when I looked at Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, when I looked at Tom Brady and whoever you threw out there, their go-to guys made plays for them during the playoffs. Mark Andrews has never made a play for Lamar Jackson during the playoffs. Yes, he did above his average. I think he had like 60 yards receiving. He normally averages like 39 receiving yards. But through 7 years, he has no touchdowns in the playoffs. None whatsoever. And he let us down when we needed it the most. But of course, they're going to go up there and then, oh, we're taking this loss hard and I should have done better and I'm going to come back next year. Well, we're not worried about next year. We're worried about right now. We're worried about us sitting at home next week watching the Chiefs play the Bills for the right to go to the Super Bowl. And we should be in that situation because if you look at it statistically, outside of the turnover margin, we beat them in every facet, except for where it mattered the most. Turnovers and third down defense, which they conversely are the worst in the NFL, but they weren't it today. They played one of their better games today when they needed to. So you have to tip your hat to the Buffalo Bills. They did what they needed to do to win. Josh Allen didn't have to be superhuman. And that was the talk all leading up to this game was Josh Allen's going to have to put this team on his back and lead them to victory. He did not. Their run game did that. James Cook did. I told people James Cook was going to be the X factor in this game for Buffalo, and he was, and we couldn't stop him. Even at times, listen, we it's crazy because last week the people on TV, we said, man, the Baltimore Ravens had a drive where they ran the ball 13 straight times. They couldn't stop us. 15 straight times overall. There were times where Buffalo, we knew they were running the ball, and we could not stop them. We couldn't. Nnamdi Madubuike, invisible. Travis Jones, invisible. Roquan Smith, invisible. All of this money allocated to the defensive side of the ball, and they did not do their job. And I see people saying, well, the defense did just enough. They did not. They let Buffalo control the clock. They let Buffalo out physical them. That's the part that hurts me the most. It's not the fact that they won. It's the fact that they were more physical than us. We play AFC North football. Physical. I don't care if the Cleveland Browns are the worst team in the league. It's still going to be a physical game. The AFC East is a finesse division. And they came in here and they bullied us. Point blank, period.
Yeah. Yeah. We do
Oh,
have
wait, I'm sorry. I mean, you saying Andrews isn't good enough is like saying Lamar isn't good enough. Lamar made plays to win the game. What plays did Andrews make them win the game? You tell me. Lamar had 254 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. He had 2 turnovers, but he had 2 touchdowns and he made some timely throws. He did enough to win, or at least tie the game. What did Andrews do to win the game? Nothing. But did Andrews do something to lose the game? He did. He made 2 plays to lose us the game.
We do have a couple of super chats coming in. The first one is from Jeff J. $5 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support over the entire course of the season. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
We do have another super chat coming through. This one is from 199 from Die Hard Eddie. We've been terrible at 2-point conversions all season. Absolutely. And, thank you.
Appreciate you. And it's not even a 2-point conversion thing. It's they ran the same play that they ran in Pittsburgh that wasn't successful. They ran that same play in Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. It wasn't successful. And they ran it to Mark Andrews each time. Then they tried to do that same play to Mark Andrews a third time another season. It didn't work out. This is what I mean when I say we do not learn from our mistakes. We try the same things over and over again. And then when it doesn't work, it's like, oh, extra drum, but we'll try it again some other time.
Yeah. So.
Facts.
Agreed. Agreed. I see all of you in the chat. Thank you very much for being here. Go ahead, do us a favor. I know it's tough. It's not a good night for most of us. Michael said he's sick. I have a headache. I think someone else in the chat earlier, might have been Agnes from the previous stream, said she had a headache earlier as well. Do us a favor. Go ahead, hit the like button. If you are new, welcome. Please subscribe, join the family. A lot of new faces, a lot of new avatars. You all are all welcome. It doesn't matter who your team is. The only thing, we have a couple of requirements around here: no profanity and be respectful. It's fine
That's
if you
it.
are not a Ravens fan. It's fine. But just make sure that you do not use profanity and that you are respectful. We don't mind trolling. You get one free troll, one free comment that I'm going to put on the screen. After that, you got to pay the troll toll in order to have your comments displayed. We do have another super chat coming through. Another $2 donation from Die Hard Eddie. They should have
Appreciate you.
went for it with Likely. Talk about having a good game. There were two on offense that had amazing games. Maybe a couple more. Maybe Justice Hill, add him. He was another one who had a really good game. But I was going to say Likely, Bateman. But go ahead and add Justice Hill in there as well. Derrick Henry, obviously I was thinking about, players who were probably not expected, or maybe you didn't think that they would have such a good game. But Rashad Bateman, amazing, excellent game for him. And I agree with you, Die Hard. Why did we not dial something up for Isaiah Likely? These 2-point conversions, we're not improving. So if we're ever in a situation, I'm telling you now, if we're ever in a situation moving forward, game is on the line, it requires a 2-point conversion, I have zero confidence that we're going to have zero confidence. We do have another
Subscriber.
Let me find it. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Kevin Latif. Thank you for subscribing and joining the family. Welcome. I see all the comments. I'm probably not going to get to them all, all of them, but this one is funny. Hendo, if our places were swapped, I would have gotten kicked off of Yolanda stream after that 2-point drop. Shout out to you, Hendo, for holding it together somehow. Well, you know what? I appreciate Hendo for not using profanity on the show. I know he did, and I'm grateful. I appreciate it. I know he was frustrated. We all were frustrated, okay? Just not ready wasn't ready for our season to end. Wasn't ready. Me too, Sherelle. That's the best way I could describe it. I'm sad. And the I guess the part that makes me even more sad, more upset, is we could have won that game. And probably by all accounts, we should have won that game. But shout out to Buffalo. They were the better team tonight. The team that makes the least amount of mistakes is most likely going to win. And that was the Bills. We got a super chat coming through. Let me go with that. Look at this. Hendo held it down. Yes, he did. And I'm grateful for that. He did. Die Hard Eddie said, long drive home now. Oh, you went to Buffalo? You drove to Buffalo for the game?
Shout out to you.
If you did, I don't know where you're driving from, but if you did, be safe, drive carefully. Wherever
Yes.
you're driving from, be careful. Roads are, I don't know, where you're driving from, but if you're on this side of the world on the East Coast, roads are slick, icy. Be careful. And let us know next time we do a stream, check in with us, or on a video check-in, let us know that you're safe. We do have another, someone just subscribed.
To
Thank
your
you.
channel.
Yes.
They were in the live stream. I think it's
Okay.
Ryan. Was it Ryan?
I'm not sure, but I was trying to look for it. Oh, he's at work. Okay. All right. Drive safe. Drive safe. Well, thank you for the person that just subscribed. I don't see it. There are a lot of comments coming through, so I'm trying to get it, trying to find it. But whoever just subscribed, thank you very much. Family, you are seeing
Ryan Muck.
Ryan. Okay. Thank you for subscribing, Ryan. Thank
Appreciate
you. I appreciate it. This is probably the first time that you guys are seeing me extremely subdued, but
Appreciate you.
this one is tough. This one's tough, and it's going to take me. I'm a type of person where it takes me some time to kind of process things, and I'm not one that likes to just say things in the heat of the moment, because I typically will say the wrong thing and end up regretting it, or saying, "Gosh, I shouldn't have said that." So I've learned over the years, in my old age, I've learned to kind of keep my mouth shut until I have some time to cool off and think about what it is I want to say. But we do have a super chat coming through from Devin. Thank you,
Okay.
Devin.
Okay.
$5 super chat. She says, I don't know. Glad I found your channel. I'm glad you found us, Devin.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
glad you found us. I need you all, and this is going to really help me kind of handle this loss a little bit better. Um,
I hate to say it. You get used to it.
I don't think that there's getting there. I don't know if there's a whole lot of getting used to. Thank you again, Devin, for the $5 donation. I appreciate you. I don't know if there's a whole lot of getting used to this, because I'm not one, and we all live our lives differently. We're all
Mhm.
different people. We're all, different individuals, and how you handle adversity,
Mhm.
it's unique to you. But for me, I'm just not one that likes to repeat the same thing and just get comfortable in it. If it's a mistake, I don't want to just keep doing it and be like, oh, okay, well, it's not so bad. It's okay. I'm fine. No, I don't like to do that. I don't like that feeling. Right. So,
Appreciate you, Lux.
yeah.
You get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
You will know you will get used to the feeling because listen, after 7 years of the same thing, you say, you know what? This head coach is not going to learn his lesson. He's going to do what he wants to do with the people that he wants to do it with. And to me personally, shout out to Zach Orr, who improved thoroughly throughout this season.
He did.
He got overmatched. He got outcoached. Thoroughly got outcoached. To me, we need a seasoned defensive coordinator. We need to bring in an offensive coordinator that knows what your strengths are and how to utilize them. Todd Monken, you tried to get too cute. And we should have learned that in the loss to the Raiders and the loss to the Browns. Like, don't get too cute and play Ravens football. We haven't learned any of these things. And it is a reflection of the head man because he allows them to continuously get away with this. Listen, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2022, 2023, 24, it doesn't make a difference. It's all the same thing. And there's only one constant with these teams, and that is John Harbaugh. We've had these same issues when we had Joe Flacco. Different offensive coordinators, same head coach, same results. Something has to change. You can't keep going into a season doing the same thing and expecting different results. So for you, yes, you're new to this. I'm used to this. I was born in the darkness. So when I open my eyes, I can see. And I see clearly that this guy is not the man for us. Regular season, we're going to get a bunch of wins. No doubt about it. We have Lamar Jackson. We're going to get a bunch of wins throughout the regular season. But come playoff time, we just don't hold a candle to these teams that have better coaching.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
The Bills aren't a better team. Shout out to them in their win. They're not a better team, but they have better coaching. They have coaches that know situational football a lot better. They had coaches that made adjustments throughout the game. And offensively, they made a drastic adjustment from week 4 to now, offensively. Defensively, we did not do the same.
Brandzilla, thank you for the $5
Hey.
super chat. Andrews missed 2 catches and a
Yep.
fumble.
Yep.
Lamar, 1 fumble and 1 interception. Absolutely. Brandzilla, you're right. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not going to play favorites. Lamar messed up. Big time.
Again.
Big time. You know
Again.
better than to fumble the ball. You know better than to throw an interception. You know better. And I'm sure his mom is going to have some choice words for him, but it's not all on it's not all on Lamar. Mark Andrews, when are you going to step up in a playoff game?
Never for the Ravens. Won't be back.
I don't know if he'll be back. I can't say, I mean, you're speaking very confidently. I don't know because what I'm seeing from this organization is a collective of we are going to be okay making the same mistakes over and over again. And if
Hmm.
that mistake is, oh, Mark Andrews doesn't show up in the postseason, and then the next thing we hear a month or two later, we just signed Mark Andrews to a blank year extension, 4 years, 3 years, whatever. So, but thank you, Brandzilla, for your donation. We do appreciate you. Thank you.
And yet, yes, we appreciate that. And yes, Robert, yes, John Harbaugh didn't fumble the ball. John Harbaugh didn't throw an interception. But when you start changing the cast of characters on the field and you start changing the coaching staff and you end up with the same result year in and year out, who else is to blame? When does your head coach go up to his offensive coordinator and say, "Run Derrick Henry"? Or you just stand there on the sideline with a blank stare, looking like, "Well, I hope they get it together because we losing."
Yeah,
When does John Harbaugh? Because John Harbaugh, because y'all love to give John Harbaugh the credit when we win games, but when we lose games, it's always the players.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah. We have a couple more super chats coming through. Thank you. Let me scroll to get them. Thank you to everybody's here who's here with us tonight. I appreciate it. You don't have to be here. You could be doing anything else, hanging out, trying to get over this loss, but you're here with us, so it means a lot. Thank you,
Enjoying
Jimmy.
like
Yeah, Jimmy, $5 super chat. Thank you. Wow. Why does it always start with Lamar? Andrews holds on to a pass. We maybe win. Correct. Y'all acting like we got blown out. Don't know
no,
who the
no. I'm sorry.
I don't know who the comment was directed to, Jimmy. If it was directed to myself and Hendo, I will speak for myself. I'm not acting like I'm speaking for me. I don't want to act like we got blown out. But to me, if you don't come in first place, you come in last place. That's how I look at it. So most of you know by profession, I'm a trial attorney, right? If I go to trial and I don't win, if I don't win for my client's not going to be happy. Even though I didn't, we didn't get blown out or that's not how it works. Either you win or you don't. And at the end of the day, the Ravens didn't win tonight. Even if it was 1 point, we lost by 2, but we came in second place.
Yeah.
And the painful part for me is we didn't have to. There were things in our control that we could have done differently, done better, all the way from coaching to player execution. So I'm speaking for myself, Jimmy. I'm not saying that, oh, you're acting like we got blown out. No, it's not about that for me, but I wasn't ready for this season to end. And I was comfortable believing that we were not going to have our season end tonight. I was wrong. But thank you for the $5 donation. We do
Appreciate you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I that's what I was gonna say. It doesn't matter if we got blown out or lost by 1 point. We lost. We lost last year. We lost in 2019. We keep losing. I don't care how we lose. We lost. And it doesn't sit right because we had the better team. So it's not about how much we lost by. It's the fact that Coach Belichick said it the best. The only team that can beat the Ravens is the Ravens. And we continuously get into the playoffs and beat ourselves. I don't care what we lost by. We could have lost by half a point. Loss is still a loss. We don't play next week. We all get to sit around and do nothing next week.
Yeah, we get to hang out with Trey Trey. And who wants to know how we're feeling? We get to hang out with Trey Trey.
I'm chill. Like I'm used to this. Like it is what it is.
Yeah,
Now I will be heated. I will be heated if we go into next season with the same cast of characters, same head coach, same offensive coordinator, same defensive coordinator, and you think that,
and Mark and Mandrews.
and Mark Andrews, and you think bringing back Dean Pease is going to make a difference. I will have a problem then.
Okay. No.
That's right. Here we go again. Like it's the same. It's Groundhog's Day for Baltimore Ravens playoff football. It's Groundhog's Day. It's the same thing. It's at the end of the game. We didn't have enough offense. Why didn't we run the ball more? We just didn't have that mistake by Lamar. Like it's always the same thing.
Yeah. We got a few super chats coming through. I want to make sure I catch up and keep up with them. We have a $4.99, a $5 donation from Weber. He
Appreciate
says, Sorry, joined the stream late. Nope, you're right on time. Thanks for being here, Weber. Wherever you watched the game from, keep your cool and drive safe in this cold winter night. Ravens flock.
Thanks.
Amen. Yes. Thank you, Weber. Safe travels to all of you, Ravens flock. If you're traveling or even if you're just traveling from work, be safe out there. Be safe out there. Let me see. We had another super chat donation.
I think it was Jules.
It was this one coming
Jules
back
Santana.
from Jimmy Jules. Another $5 super chat. Thank you. I get that. And Lamar takes blame, but why is he always the first name blamed is my question. Good question. He played a good second half to bring us right there. Jimmy, I think I'm going to answer for me and then turn the floor over to Hendo. But when you talk about a team sport such as football, yes, it is absolutely a team sport. You win together, you lose together. But ever since I've been watching football, it's always been a heavy emphasis on the quarterback, always. And for that reason, whether that's right or wrong, it's just kind of how it is. Why is it that way? Jimmy, I can't answer that, but it is. And so when your quarterback makes mistakes, it's magnified. And when your quarterback is Lamar Jackson, whose name has been sullied, drugged through the mud. He shouldn't be this. He's not that. He's not quarterbacky enough. We hear all the narratives. We know all the narratives. He's an amazing regular season quarterback, but he can't do anything. He's going to choke in the postseason. To me, the expectation is you have to go out there and be 10 times better than your counterpart quarterback whose name is not sullied because you haven't led your team to a Super Bowl. So for that reason, I think the blame starts with, I'm not going to say for me, it starts with him. It starts with the coaches for me. And then it trickles down to players and execution. But thank you. Hendo?
For me, Lamar does not always get. I don't. This is like really the first time I've really dug in and criticized Lamar. But for people outside, he's the first one to get the blame because he's the two-time MVP. He's the second player in the NFL history over 100 years to be a unanimous MVP. He's the one that they praise when the Ravens win and he makes spectacular plays, but they don't see that same Lamar Jackson when playoff time comes. Now, Lamar does play well. He plays well enough for us to win, but we don't see Lamar like other franchise elite quarterbacks in the league take his team and put him on their back like he does during the regular season. Plus, more importantly to me, I think that Lamar gets the blame first because they don't want Lamar to be the face of the NFL. They don't want a guy that comes in and is not speaking Queen's English and has grills in his mouth to be a Super Bowl champion up on stage talking to America. They don't want that because they want to keep it for as long as they can, that drop back quarterback, that immobile quarterback. They want a certain kind of guy to be the face of the NFL. And Lamar Jackson, because he doesn't care what people think about him, is going to be unapologetically himself. So, of course, you have to tear him down so that he's not put to the forefront like the Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen is put up there with all the rest of these other quarterbacks, and he's done the exact same thing that Lamar Jackson has. Been to an AFC Championship game now too, but has not won any MVPs. So yet and still they try to tear Lamar down so that the rest of us don't build him up as much. But to a certain extent, just like we give Lamar the praise, he deservingly deserves some of the criticism when we don't reach the heights that we think that we should. And each time that we haven't reached it, each time that we have not reached it, we have lost with the better team. And I think that more importantly plays a greater factor into it because it's not like we limped in, we had a bad team and just some other team just mollywopped us. No, we've had every time we've lost in the playoffs with Lamar Jackson, we've always had the better team. Each and every time.
Yeah,
Little
for sure.
Joker.
Little Joker. I was thinking about you. Couple more super chats coming through. And family, we have a lot of people in here tonight hanging out with us. If you want to have your comments read, quickest way, the best way to do that is to leave a super chat because we automatically skip and go to the front of the line to make sure that we get your comments. So thank you all for the donations down below. If you'd like to leave a super chat, you can click on the super chat button, or if you are watching on Hendo stream, he has a pinned link in his
And I didn't,
comments.
I didn't, I didn't even put it this time.
Oh, he didn't. Okay,
I
well,
ain't
just
even
click.
put it. I just was like, you know what? I don't even feel like it.
I don't even want to worry. Don't even worry about it. Donovan, good evening, comes in with a $2 super chat. Says, "Ball security drills my butt by Harbs." Yeah,
Facts.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Lamar had how many fumbles this year? One of the most in the league by a quarterback. I don't know the number. I'm sure I can look that up. But thank you, Donovan, for the super chat. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like, that's something that should have been not just preached to them. Oh, you got to make sure you protect the ball at all costs. I don't want to hear it. Where are the drills? What are we doing out there? James Green, $20 super chat. Thank you, James. Let us know if you have a comment that you'd like us to read. I don't see one here. Wow, Jimmy Jules, we appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Another super chat, $20 from Jimmy. He said that part. And that's
Okay.
what I wanted you to get to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean,
Awesome.
you know it. You listen. Lamar's too South Florida for the league,
Yeah.
and I think that the fact that it's not predominantly the fact that he's so South Florida. It's the fact that he doesn't care. Some people try to portray, and some of us, we have a. I'll put it like this: we have a at home speak, and we have a work speak. Lamar is just Lamar 1,000% of the time, and they don't like it.
Yep.
They're like, "Why you like this? Why
Hmm.
don't you put on a front like most of these other guys?" And Lamar's like, "I'm going to be me regardless because I'm good."
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Little Joker, thank you for being here. And thank you for the $5 super chat. He said, I had fun rooting for my JV team. That's right. He is a Vikings fan,
Oh,
but he has adopted the Ravens as his JV team. So we appreciate that. Rooting for you all season. Thank you. He'll be
is
rooting for us next season.
was that a joke? Your JV team?
No, that's what he called it from early on. He was saying like,
Okay,
hey, his number one team was the
okay.
Vikings, and he's
I thought
with us.
I
So
thought he
I
was
appreciate him.
I thought he was joking because I was about to have a joke for him.
Nah, Little
Oh,
Joker's cool.
okay, we good. We good,
Yeah.
bro.
$5 super chat coming from Donovan. He said, Josh Allen didn't have a special game tonight. He did not. And if you
Nope.
look at his stats, they're not as good. Well, minus the turnover, the fact that he doesn't have any turnovers. But
Nope.
other than that, passing yards, etc., they're not as good. Completion percent, it's not as good as Lamar's. But Josh Allen did not have a special game tonight. Mahomes hasn't had a special game all season. They have so much more room for error than Lamar.
Facts. I mean, listen. Sean McDermott is a defensive coach. So whatever they're not doing offensively, he makes up for it defensively. Steve Spagnuolo in Kansas City, two-time Super Bowl winning coach with two different franchises. Like he knows when to call a blitz. He knows how to kind of play chess with offensive coordinators. We don't have that here. We got a game plan, and if it don't work, let's keep going with the game plan. So Lamar has to play darn near perfect football for us to win in these type situations. His room for error is rail thin, and it's sad that it has to be that way. But after each and every season, and I say, Yolanda, you are new to this. So what normally happens during this point in time is we hear the Ravens need offensive weapons. The Ravens need offensive line help for Lamar. We need to get Lamar some more help offensively. And this is what we say for the first week after the playoff loss. Then when we start getting around draft time, is we need a cornerback. We need a pass rusher. We need a safety. Like it always switches. Like the first week when it's fresh, we need offensive help for Lamar, and we do need offensive help. That offensive line played terribly today. They were not opening holes. They were pressuring Lamar, and people said it on the stream. We need better offensive line help. But come 2 weeks from now, the closer we get to the draft, we're going to talk about how much more defense we need because we're conditioned and brainwashed as Ravens fans to think defense is the way to win championships. Well, we've had some of the best defenses over the last 5, 6 years, and we haven't won a championship yet. Why? Because we lack offensively.
Um, you know, uh, wow. I'm fed up. I'm fed up. A question. I'm fed up. I'm fed up.
Why? Why?
Why is here? First, why?
Yeah,
Hey,
you pop
why?
you pop up now, huh?
Yeah, of course you do.
We got
Hey,
cooked.
why? Thanks for being here. I'm not gonna say we got cooked. We just got beat. So if that's the saying the same thing,
First of all,
and that was
why?
and that was Y's one. Why? Just FYI, we know Y is a Steelers fan, and we welcome anyone. Doesn't matter what your team, who your team is. You get one troll comment for free. After that, I'm not putting up any of your comments. You just have to pay to troll. And I wanted to give a shout out early on. Chef Drew was here. He's a Dolphins fan, and he was rooting for the Ravens to take down his division rival. He was rooting for it because they just,
Excuse me.
yeah, that's what it is. I need to play that song tonight. Heartbreak Hotel. That's what I need to play.
We have plenty of offensive weapons. They just choke in the playoffs. So does that mean we don't have offensive players? If they don't perform in the playoffs, we don't have them.
Yeah.
Regular season means nothing to me.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just, I gotta go back to the drawing board. I gotta figure out, like, I gotta sift through my feelings, think how I'm really feeling, other than angry, other than mad and frustrated. Of course,
Embarrassed.
embarrassed. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, Keon said I deleted Twitter. No, I can't do that. I can't. I appreciate you though. I mean, I
Just for a
can't
little
be
bit.
it.
You can delete it for a while and then bring it back later on. Like it can always come back.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. Well, I might have to do that. Uh, Tanja says she would prefer T Martin because Monken ain't it.
I don't want anybody associated with John Harbaugh. I want somebody outside of the organization that doesn't have ties to John Harbaugh.
I
I
don't
need
even.
somebody
Oh, sorry.
fresh that has their own mind.
I don't even know Suzuki. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I don't even know if Zay would have made a difference tonight because Zay drops passes of it. But I just, I don't know.
Even with Zay being there, that should not change the aspect of you running the ball. We should have run the ball collectively with Henry, with Lamar, with Hill, with even some Keaton Mitchell. We should have run the ball at least 40 to 50 times this game. Inclement weather. I say this all the time. We play in bad weather games and get pass happy, and we lose each and every time.
Hmm.
We love to talk about how run dominant this team is historically, but when we need the run game the most, we abandon it. Like it's mind blowing to me.
I hope not, Sherelle. I hope they did not pay Andrews to drop the ball. And it got an alert on my phone.
Ravens
I
cut
think it was
Andrew.
from. He declined to comment, or he was not available to comment in the
And
locker room.
that's a punk move right there. Lamar Jackson, for all the criticism that he gets, he doesn't duck interviews. Whether he plays well or he plays terrible, he doesn't duck interviews, and that's what a leader's supposed to do. And I thought Mark Andrews was supposed to be a leader on his team. And you make mistakes to help lose us a game, you man up and stand into it. Eddie Jackson, when Eddie Jackson got torched, he at least stood up there in front of the media and everybody was like, I played terrible. Like I had to do better.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna get to some of these super chats. Thank you all so much for the donations. Thank you just for hanging out with us. This is a therapy session that we all need right now. Well,
It's
not
cathartic.
all of us, because some of us are not Ravens fans who are gloating.
Oh,
But
here we go. How to make my day even worse.
what happened? Let me get to the
You'll
super.
see. You'll see.
Let me get to the super chats. We have a $2 super chat coming from our guy Philip. Thank you for the donation. Andrews let his team down in the pressure moment. He did. He did. He did. Facts. Facts. And he's a free agent, or, I guess effective immediately, or he'll soon be a free agent.
Started a new league year in March.
Okay, then he'll be a free agent in about a month and a half. Jeff J with a $10 donation. Thank you, Jeff. It's situational coaching. Overcomes miscues. Defense wasn't ready. No sacks. That's why I had to take off the jersey. I was like, Odafe, oh, well, you disappoint me. I can no longer defend Odafe. After tonight, I don't know what happened. I do know what happened, but no stunts. Blitz. John is making it hard for Lamar to succeed. There was no need to the 2-point conversion. Take the points. Jeff, you're speaking facts yet again. So many things that I'm not one that likes to do the coulda, woulda, shouldas. I don't, because it doesn't change the outcome. The outcome is we didn't win. But you're right. We didn't do what we needed to do. Not nearly enough. How many sacks did we have on Josh Allen? One, I believe. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. And it was Kyle Van Noy. I don't think anybody else got a sack on Josh Allen.
That can't be true. We just paid a defensive tackle $98 million this offseason
Okay.
to come in here and wreck shop. So I can't believe we had one or fewer sacks. I can't believe that. $98 million to be a run stopper? What is this, Brandon Williams part 2?
Trust, no trust. Not at all. No, zero trust. Thank you for the super chat. $2 super chat. He says, I'm new. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And what's y'all's background? From Baltimore? Blessings. Blessings to you.
It's Lamar Jackson, and I am from Baltimore. Born, raised, bred.
I am not. I am not from Baltimore. I am from Florida, from Orlando. I moved up to the Baltimore area a decade ago now, 2015. So I've been here for 10 years. But are you from Baltimore? Trust, no trust? Is Baltimore home for you?
That you know what? Now that you read it out loud, that is terrible.
That's what his name is. I'm going
No, I'm just saying,
trust.
trust, no
No
trust.
trust. He
That
doesn't have
is
any. He
that
probably
is
changed that tonight
terrible.
after this, and he said, "Oh yeah, straight out of B more." Okay, I see your. I wasn't even looking, but yeah, there. Yeah, he looks like you're from
That,
Baltimore, straight out
that
of
is
Baltimore.
terrible, but
Yep,
so accurate.
so accurate. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for being here. Welcome, Nigerian Nightmare. $5 super chat. It says, "I am numb. He's more numb than hurt. Lamar will always get the team to the playoffs. I'm never worried about that. But I am losing faith in this team in the playoffs. Facts. I am too. So next year we make it to the playoffs. It's not going to be like, oh my gosh, we made it. Yay. Because then what are we going to be? First, second round exits?
I mean,
Then you get all excited and all happy and ecstatic. For what?
yeah, we're going to make the playoffs next year. As long as Lamar Jackson is healthy and is a quarterback of this team, we're going to make the playoffs. It's just a given. And just after that, now I'm just tempered expectations. I
Yeah.
just don't have any faith that this team under this leadership can actually go out and win a Super Bowl. We can go out
Yeah.
next season, and we'll probably next season go 14-3 and do some amazing type things.
Hmm.
And I'll still go into the playoffs like, well, whatever round we're losing, we're losing. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
there are no expectations. There's no bravado. There's no clairvoyance. I'm not going to predict anything because this team lets me down a little bit too much. Now, come tomorrow, it'll be different. I'll be happy once again, and things will go back to the same. But it's just for as of right now.
Hmm.
As of right now, it just it's befuddling that year in and year out we are clearly the better team. Kansas City Chiefs last year had a down year. Offensively, they struggled. We
Sure.
had a better team.
Oh,
2019, the Tennessee Titans led by Ryan Tannehill. We had a better team.
you
And
know
we
Derrick Henry mad.
just come out on the losing end. Like we did all that for what? 4,000-yard passer, 3,000 yards rushing as a team, first team in NFL history. Quarterback, 4,172 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, less than 5 interceptions, first time in NFL history. Add on 900 yards rushing, first time in NFL history. We've done so many things and broken so many records for what? To go out in the divisional round again?
It's
So we've
embarrassing.
regressed. We've regressed. We went to the AFC Championship last year. We're regressing.
Yep, for sure. $5 super chat coming in from Weber. Zay ain't big and physical enough. Every time he dances with defenders, I'm always afraid he would get tackled from behind and fumble.
True.
Yeah, true enough. True enough.
But remember, we don't need any more wide receivers. We got Nelson Aguilar. That's what they told me during the signing during the offseason when they was like, we re-signed Nelson. Like, yeah, get it, Nelly. He about to do some amazing things. Yeah, 3 catches for a box of Cracker Jacks and 2 apples. Great.
Mm, Ah, Tanja says Derrick Henry's gone.
No, but he has another year with
He
us.
has another year left, I think. I thought we
He has
signed him
another.
for
We signed
two
him for 2
years.
years. He has another year.
Go Man said, "We'll be back." They played their hearts out. Did they? Did they?
Tavius
Because
Robinson
they,
played his heart out.
yeah, Tavius Robinson. That's a shining light right there. Um, I don't know. Go Man. I tend to disagree. I think we left a lot on the field. To me, playing your heart out means you leave nothing behind. You give it 100%. And when I was looking on ESPN.com right before this stream, it said Bills outlast the sloppy Ravens. And I said, ooh, sloppy.
Wow.
But I can't even be mad because that's what we look like tonight. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me ESPN is wrong for calling our team sloppy.
Listen, I normally disagree with Go Man, but I'm a partially agree with you. Mark Andrews played his heart out, and he left it on the field with his hands because he darn sure wasn't playing with him. He wasn't playing with no heart, no hands. So you're right, Mark Andrews. Shout out to him for leaving it all out on the field, except
Mm.
for a good game. That's the one thing he didn't leave on the field. A good game, again in the playoffs.
Hey, Darian. Yeah, Lamar messed up, but he got right in the end. It's not
All right,
about how
Jeff.
you start, it's about how you finish. Well, you're right. You're right.
And
But
that's the thing.
I was just going to say, but even if Lamar had not fumbled the ball, which resulted in a touchdown, things would be different. Things would be different. If but there's two ends of the coin. There's two sides of a coin. If Mark Andrews had not dropped the ball in the end zone, things would be different. If we had gotten some better play calling, if we had kept Derrick Henry on the field, so we can.
It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things. There's so many different variables.
Yeah, and the thing is with Lamar, and not even just Lamar, just players in general. We say, okay, you make a mistake, you atone for it. Lamar atoned for it. That 88-yard touchdown drive at the end, he atoned for it. What did Mark Andrews atone for? How did he atone for that fumble? He atoned for the fumble by dropping the 2-point conversion to tie the game. And then his since you're here, I can't say it, but his
Look at Hendo
self,
struggling.
his self wasn't even man enough to face the media afterwards.
Right.
You know, I'm big on if you do something, you own up to it, regardless of the consequences. If I did it, I'm gonna own up to it. Don't run and hide. Don't run and hide yourself. Because I'm pretty sure he was talking to his friends before the game. Yeah, I'm about to go ahead and do some things or whatever, whatever. Now it's like he's tucking his head between his legs and running off. He didn't atone for his mistakes. Others atone for their mistakes. Mark Andrews did not.
Trademark for a second round. Ooh. Wow.
First of all, he's no longer on the team. I think his contract is expired, so there's no need to trade him. And who's gonna give you a second round pick for a guy that doesn't produce in the playoffs?
Hmm.
A guy who's gone down statistically every year since 2020.
Free Wi-Fi says crazy how we can't get a single turnover. My goodness. Now you speaking the truth right there.
I mean, listen, much stuff we talking right now. It's still our team. We still love this team. We still ride and die for this team. It's just we're hurt right now. Like we're in our feelings. We're in our feelings because we know we can do better. People are like, "Yo, you too hard on this team." It's because I know we can do better. If I felt like, "Oh, we did our best and we just lost," cool. I'm with that. Like I know any given Sunday, some days it's just not your day, but it's just always in the playoffs. It's just not our day. It's always in the playoffs that we always tend to play at our worst through that season. It's always our worst game in the playoff loss, like each and every time.
Yeah.
So still our team, but we can want them to do better. We can wish for them to play better.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Killicam, we were very sloppy. We were sloppy. Offense and defense. Ah, terrible. Hey Lord, Zero ILP. Sorry
Hey,
that we lost. He was rooting for us. Yeah, I appreciate you.
appreciate it.
I do. Thank you. And our guy, I
Oh
just
yeah, you finally got to it.
I I told you there are a lot of comments. I can't get to all of them. I'm just trying to read as many as I can. Fleet Commander. Lack of a
Congratulations.
lack of a dominant defense. Lack of a defense period is ruining Lamar and your offense accomplishments. I'm stunned. My Commanders are where we are at because our defense is it borderline stinks. But you know what? You got some good whatever you're doing over there. Coaching, your players, whatever you have going, your formula is working. It's working.
Hey, League Commander, what happened in 2023? Because we had the number one overall defense in 2023. Where was that lack of dominant defense that year?
Yeah. Wow. Dedicated to my children's future. I love
Hey,
that.
I
Now
like
I
that
love
name.
that. Oh,
I like
that just caught my eye. I love that. Dedicated to my children's future. I tell my mom all the time. There was a commercial a few years ago. A little boy was talking to his mom. He said, "Thank you, mom, for protecting my future." So I tell my mom all the time, "Thank you, mom, for protecting my future." But anyway, dedicated to my children's future. I've seen so many in other places, almost every other place mentioning the MVP award. You know, to me, MVP is good. It's nice. It's a great accolade, great accomplishment. But when you have your sights set on something greater, like Lamar does or did, the MVP is almost like, and I don't want to lessen or diminish its value, right? I don't want to make it sound like that, but MVP is great, but there's something better that he's trying to get.
facts.
And tonight that came to an end for this year anyway.
Yeah, we don't care about no MVP. We got two of them. And in all honesty, this is gonna be so bad. In all honesty, we don't want a third MVP because Lamar is already receiving criticism that he is the only two-time MVP in NFL history never to win a Super Bowl. Now, if you add a third MVP onto that, now he's in a category all by himself to have three MVPs and zero championships. So that would make things even worse. We don't care about MVPs. We want championships. And Amani, shame on you because that's like the third time you put that in there, and I can't stop thinking about 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Strictly business, drop passes and turnover. It's not a formula to succeed for sure.
All right.
But honestly though, how many times have we said that going into these games? We're like, hey, we can't make these mistakes. I'm talking about when we were in the regular season. We can't make these mistakes against better teams as we plan to or go into the postseason. This type of lackluster performance or subpar performance, it was good enough to beat the fill in the blank. It was good enough to beat this team, right? Fill in the blank. It was good enough to beat this team, fill in the blank. But we said this is not going to fly against your more top tier teams.
We only got three playoff wins since Lamar's been here. So it's only three. It's only three teams we can put in them slots. It's only three teams. So
No, no, I'm talking about the regular season, the last like
oh
4 or 5 weeks as we were rounding out the regular season. We won games, yes, but we were making mistakes. And my sentiment was, yeah, we did enough this past week to beat the whoever we played 3 or 4 weeks, like week 17 or week 15 or week 14. Yeah, we did enough to beat this team. We did enough to beat the Browns. We did enough to beat the Steelers. We did enough to beat this one. But that type of play is not going to work when we're talking about going into the playoffs. That's what I was referencing.
I thought you meant like we learn from our mistakes in the playoffs because we don't learn from our mistakes in the playoffs. Same old. And 33 Lady Ram says Washington learned from our mistakes and are now thriving. Like I think Bradley and Jose on lunch break hot take to put out they're going to put out a video on Cam Newton. And the same thing in Carolina happened with Cam Newton. Cam Newton came into this league. They didn't think that he was a quarterback. Like, even though he went number one overall, they had questions about him as a passer. He came into the league, set rookie records for passing yards, and they realized we got a quarterback. And instead of surrounding him with a lot of talent offensively, they said, Cam, go win us games. And throughout the years, Cam won them a lot of games, took them to a Super Bowl, but they never really surrounded him with the offensive skill positions and the offensive lineman that he needed to thrive. You would have thought that the Ravens would have looked at that and said, we have a similar type situation, so let's learn from this mistakes, from this mistake. I think Washington looked at the situation with Lamar and said, you know what? We have this
Hmm.
quarterback. He can run, but he can also throw. Let's build around him. Let's give him some pieces. They went out and got an Austin Eckler, who's a receiving back. Like they didn't need him to run between the tackles. They got him to catch passes out the backfield, and they put him in an offense that helped him thrive and helped him grow. And they're still building things and utilizing the people to make Jaden Daniels better. Us, it's still essentially, well, we brought in a Derrick Henry, but Lamar, go out there and do what you can do. And
Hmm.
we haven't learned. Trade for Sam Darnold. Oh my lord, my gracious!
Mm-mm.
I almost fainted.
Huh.
Why didn't we?
Ah.
Why didn't we score when Bateman caught the ball at the 5 yard line? Because we tried to get cute
Cute.
instead of running Derrick Henry or faking with Henry and running
Running with
Lamar like I
Lamar.
kept asking them to do. They tried to get cute with their play calling. They even tried to pass at one point that just didn't work out. And I'm like, why are you getting cute? If you look at the games throughout the early season, when we got down to that point, we just kept giving the ball to Derrick Henry. You're going to get in there sooner or later. And we went away from our identity. We said all week long, if we don't go away from who we are as a team, we'll be fine. But if we try to get cute and we start doing that zig for zagging stuff, we're going to run into some problems.
What do you mean, Killer Cam?
He's not a he's not. I guess what they're saying is he is not quote unquote an alpha. Like he's not. He doesn't go in. He doesn't go in for the kill. Like some court, like Tom Brady. Tom Brady would like he may look nice, but
Hmm.
Tom Brady didn't. He didn't have any sympathy for anybody. Tom Brady would put 50 points on you just because and didn't give a second thought about it. Like he never let up because in his mind, all he wanted to do was win. And they think that I guess they thinking that Lamar is just too nice of a guy. Like he doesn't have like LeBron James early on in his career. LeBron James has always been an extremely talented basketball player, but early in his career and even to the extent to the middle part, he would defer to other people. So instead of him taking over and taking control of games where he's the biggest, fastest person on the field, he would give it to other people to determine the outcome of games. And I think they're saying that's the same thing with Lamar.
Okay. Agro Valley Farm. Hey there. I usually agree with you. I'm going to disagree on this one. It's not a team loss. It is because tell me how much the defense did tonight.
Number one ranked rush defense.
Yeah. Tell me how much. How is it that every time Josh Allen was on the field, he seemed to run the ball down our throats every time, and when he wasn't doing that, he was effective in the passing game. So that's to me not on Mark. That's not on Lamar. Did they make mistakes? Did Lamar make mistakes? He did. Did Mark Andrews make mistakes? He sure did.
Mistake
Did
comes back
did
to this,
um did Todd Monken have some suspect play calls?
a lot of them.
So
Did Zach Orr get his thing together? Heck no.
huh.
Zach Orr got outcoached, and people thought that bringing in Dean Pease was going to change the outcome.
He gonna
They
leave
thought
Dean
Dean Pease
Pease
because
alone.
people because they listen even on the four-letter networks
He
they
gonna
tried to say,
change.
well, yeah, when Dean Pease came in, everything changed. I thought that Zach Orr just got a better handle on being a defensive coordinator. I don't think Dean Pease had anything to do with it. I think Dean Pease probably called the plays for this game because we looked like the Ravens during the first 5-6 weeks of the season. Except for we instead of not stopping the pass, we couldn't stop the run. They threw the ball for what 180 yards.
Right. Yeah.
So you knew they were running it, and you still couldn't stop it.
Could not. Would not.
$98 million defensive tackle, $100 million linebacker.
Mm,
Nothing. Did nothing.
yeah.
But I bet y'all want more defense. I bet we need to sign this free agent defensive player. We need to draft this defender.
Yeah. I'm with you, James. He said it was a tough loss tonight. We beat ourselves. We did. We did. And yes, it is a tough loss. James and Victoria, thanks for being here.
Hey,
I think if they are set on passing on a 2-point conversion, these plays need to go to Likely from now on. Absolutely. Likely, Bateman, just seems not to be able to elevate in the playoffs. Speaking of Andrews, absolutely. Agreed. No Henry? Why? I have that in my notes. In the fourth quarter, I said, why is Henry not on the field? I don't know. Maybe he needed a breather. I can't
They
call it, but
they
it could have.
panicked. They
They
panicked. We were down.
panicked.
It was 2 minutes, 2 minutes 12 seconds left. They panicked, and to me, more to the detriment of this team. And I just thought about this. So with the 2 point conversion that they ran to Andrews that failed, like I said before, they ran that play twice against Pittsburgh, 2 separate occasions, 2 separate games, right? But the
Hmm.
difference was we had a different offensive coordinator. So how are we running the exact same play, different time, 3 years apart, with different coordinators? Because it's John Harbaugh's offense.
Yeah. Alaskan Man says, yeah, Lamar's going to get bashed, and I hate that more than anything, for him, more than anything. Agreed.
Yeah.
I do.
Yep. And then, but I mean, we might as well just go ahead and watch whatever we watch and take our punishment because when the season starts up next year, this is all they're going to start the season off with.
That's it. How
I'll
many
start the season
times
off with.
have we seen the biggest choke artist in Lamar Jackson? Who cares if you win, have a winning
Mhm.
season of 14, 15 wins under your belt? If you can't do anything in the postseason, you can't make a splash. You can't do it. You can't bring your team. You're the quarterback. Everything evolves around you, and you're supposed to put the team on your back and carry them to victory. And have you done that yet? So that's gonna
We
be the
go.
narrative until it's not. Thank
Where,
you, James and Victoria, for subscribing to Hendo's channel. Thank you. Thank you.
where we
Thank
gonna
you.
get to? Where we getting to go, man? We're gonna get where?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
How many Pro Bowls did we have in 2023? Had an MVP quarterback that year. We didn't get nowhere. How many Pro Bowls did we have in 2019? Had an MVP that year as well. Where did we get to then? How many years are we gonna go through we got so many Pro Bowlers and an MVP. How many years are we gonna go through the same thing and keep that same optimism that this is gonna be the year that we break through? Because I thought last year was gonna be the year that we broke through, to be quite honest. Then I really thought this year was gonna be the year. Everything was set up perfectly. 28-year-old quarterback, everything was set up.
Hmm,
Nothing.
yeah. League commander says the only difference is his QB doesn't make mistakes in the big
Mm,
time games,
mm,
and he's telling the
mm,
truth. How many turnovers, or like how
mm,
many bad decisions did his court the commander Jaden Daniels make? Zero. He led his team to victory. So I can't argue with that. Goman said next season I'll be here before you know it.
and
Hmm.
and we'll be
And
sitting
we'll,
in the same spot talking about, well, how we lose again. This time
mm,
we lost to who we gonna lose to next season? The New York Jets. How did we lose to them? I don't know.
oh, okay. All right. All right. Now you took it too far. You took it too far. AKA DLA, thanks for being here. Get Ray in to help coach this defense and shut down the distractions, i.e., Marlon getting away from the camera and get serious about getting better as a unit. Um, my thought is we just need to. Hendo asked the question in the previous live stream. Is it, should we get rid of Harbaugh if we were to lose the game? And I said, I'm not ready to answer that question yet because I don't think that we're going to lose this game. Right? At that time, that was early in the game. And, or maybe right after we made a costly mistake. And I said, I still think we're going to win this game. We just now have to figure out a way to come back. But to that, he said, should John Harbaugh be fired? And I said, I don't know. I'm leaning toward, yeah, John Harbaugh has to go. So I think that's what it is, AKA DLA. I think it's more of that. But we do have a couple of super chat donations that have come through. Thank you. You guys are showing so much support
Appreciate y'all.
tonight, and we do really appreciate it. Let me see where I left off. Weber, $5 donation. He said, I don't know
You
if I
already read
read
that
this
one.
one earlier. Yeah, I read that one earlier. So it's this one. Sorry. Donovan Carter with a $5 donation. He said, Lamar can't take over like Brady because Mark Andrews got banana peels for hands. Wow. Brady had Gronk that would catch. Buffalo had 0 drops that game. 0 drops, 0 fumbles, 0 interceptions. Do they have any fumbles?
No,
I'm trying to think about early in the game. Even if they recovered it, I couldn't remember. I don't think they did, but
they didn't.
okay. So that's kind of it. Donovan also, thank you for the super chat, has another one, a $2 donation coming in again from Donovan. He said, other QBs don't got to play perfect.
Fact, because they have good coaching.
And they have good talent around their quarterback. So,
We're not going to get into that one
I mean, yeah.
because we really need that new safety that's worth $80 million. Somehow he's going to get the ball back more. That's going to make the offense better. He's going to get the ball back more. That's what they told me
Mm.
about Marcus Williams. Oh, he's going to help turn the ball over. So Lamar's going to get more chances. That helps the offense. Really? Where's that $70 million safety at now? Sitting on the bench? About to get cut? About to be a dead cap hit? More money that we can't spend?
Yeah. Goman says he appreciates the guys who are not going to be here next year. Huh?
That's, let me count the ways. Hard or Ricard. Mark
I have a
Andrews.
feeling he'll be back. I have a feeling Pat Ricard is coming back.
Pat
I have.
McCarry.
They like him, so yeah, he'll be back. They like that plug and play. Ronnie Stanley will be back, so it's going to be a lot of guys. That I don't think that
Darius Washington.
they
Darius will
need.
be back.
Yeah, I think I'm telling you, I think Andrews is coming back.
Better not.
Okay,
Because if I was Lamar,
okay,
I'd block his phone number.
you're not gonna block somebody. And no,
Bruh,
stop it.
bruh.
No, no,
I'm
stop
about to
that.
I'm about to get talked about. They are about to kill me in the media. They are going to kill me in the media because of you. Yeah, I'm blocking your number. No longer call me friend. You
That
fumbled, you
is.
fumbled, you fumbled and dropped the 2 point conversion. Do not call me friend any longer. I gotta
You're
take
gonna
all this.
block his number.
I gotta take all this flack because of you.
You don't. Okay, that's enough. You don't block somebody's number. Okay, we have a super chat donation. I'm not even looking at him
Watch
though.
me. Watch me.
We have a couple of super chat donations coming through. The anti-narrative to
Appreciate you.
$20 super chat. Thank you very, very much. Next year's focus needs to be on pass rushers because Owe and Ajabo are absolute garbage and don't show up in clutch time. It's sad teams in our division have elite pass rushers and we're still working on 5-year projects.
But I was told Ojabo was a first round steal. I was told that Odafe Owe had 4.3 speed, so he was worth trading our right tackle for and a second round pick to get him in the first round because he had 0 sacks in his senior year of college. I was told these were the moves. EDC be cooking. Like he out here cooking.
You stop that. Stop that. Thank you, anti-narrative. Yeah, we do. We need some pass rushers because our inability to get to the quarterback in any meaningful way is concerning. It's concerning. But it's like I saw in Killer Cam's message earlier. We need to think about this offensive line. We need to think about this defensive line after the way it played tonight. It's been
But your,
solid. It's supposed to have been solid all year, but the interior D line, I mean, what did we do tonight?
your GM said they'd be good next year. He wasn't worried about this season.
He didn't say that about the D line. He said that about O line. He did
Because
say
this
that.
team doesn't worry about offense. This team doesn't care about offense.
Hmm.
We were blessed enough to be lucky enough to get Lamar Jackson. Outside of that, we still thought 3 yards of cloud of dust and great defense was the way to win a championship.
Cloud of dust. Let me move on. David Hunt with a $2 super chat says, this is for the Cut Harbaugh Fund. Wait, David. David. Okay.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
How many are raise your hand if you're a part of the Cut John Harbaugh committee? If you're a part of that committee. Thank you for the donation.
Green. I need Dream to come raise her hands too. We need as many hands as possible.
Thank you for the super chat. Pay the bills with a $5 Canadian donation. Thank you. I'd block a number for less. See, why are you joining forces with Hendo? Block that man's number. Why are you doing that?
Facts. I've done it for less. I'm going to be talked about. Like now, it's just I gotta face all of the scrutiny because of you. And I honestly think that the reason he didn't want to talk to the media is because he knows that he let Lamar down. Not the fact that he cost the team a game, it's the fact that he let Lamar down, and he knows that Lamar is going to face undue scrutiny because of him. I think that's why he decided he didn't want to talk to anybody. But I do still think it was a punk move on his part. Man up. You are man enough when you make plays and they praising you to go out there before the media and talk about this and talk about and smile in front of the camera. You messed up. We all mess up. We all make mistakes. Just man up, accept it, and move on from it because it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. If you come back to Baltimore, they're going to ask you about it the next time they see you. If you go to another team, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Mark, last season in the playoffs, tough time, huh?" Like somebody's gonna ask you about it. Get it out the way.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We do have a couple of super chats, and I'll get to them in one moment. Agro Valley Farm said, Yolanda, that deep pass to Mark that led to the interception cost the Ravens the game. There were several factors that cost the Ravens the game. This is just one of them. Mark Andrews dropping the ball in the end zone on a 2-point conversion where we could have tied the game cost us the game. So it's not just one thing. It's not just one thing. It's multiple. But let me get to some of those super chats, though, because they are coming through and I don't want to miss them. And we do appreciate you. We got a $2 super chat from our guy, Shug. Hey, fam. Hate seeing you hurting. Here for you both. Appreciate you, Shug. Thank you. Thank you. Means a lot. We also have a $2 super chat coming in from Nigerian Nightmare. For the Max Crosby fund, get a proven edge. Listen, I have been asking for Max Crosby for a while. And in recent weeks, seeing the displeasure from Myles Garrett and his Browns organization, I said that could be a possibility.
Can't be. We pay too much. We pay too much for a part-time defensive tackle, a part-time linebacker, a safety that is halfway on the roster. We pay too much for other positions to be able to afford their contracts and still be able to put together an offensive line.
Oh, thank you for that. Oh, I did have a stat. He recorded 1 tackle today. That's wonderful.
And had one penalty.
And 1 penalty, so they equal each other out. You said he only had a penalty. It cancels each other out. I'm teasing. Let's move on.
Tackling a man downfield and making a penalty are two separate things in itself.
I know. I appreciate you, Woo Pig Podcast. Yeah, heartbreaking drop it was. That's it. I appreciate it.
But we expect that from Mark Andrews. Well, at least I expect that from Mark Andrews. I've told y'all he was trash, and y'all told me I was crazy.
Wow. Well, family, I don't even know what to say. Oh, you know what, Killer Cam? I said in the locker room at halftime, I said they probably need to call Lamar's mom and put her on speakerphone and have her have a few words with the entire locker room. Or maybe if she was at the game, she needed to come inside the locker room and have a talk with all of them. She'll get them right, including the coaches.
Andrews made some good plays in that game. Yeah, he made some good plays for Buffalo.
Yeah, it's sad, go man, to me. I mean, you and I seem to have differing opinion. Yeah, we're the AFC North champs, but we are the losers of the divisional round. So
it's like,
which one would I rather have more, AFC champ or Super Bowl champ? For me, I prefer a Super Bowl champ. And that dream for this year anyway is gone.
That's like me going to poker night with my friends, telling all my homeboys that my son is the smartest person in the dumb people class. He's the most intelligent dummy. Yay.
Wait, who's saying trade Lamar? See, I'm missing a lot of that.
Earlier and in the live stream, some people were saying we do need to trade Lamar Jackson. It came in a little bit.
Every time Lamar starts off the game bad, it usually doesn't work out. Okay, but what about anybody else on the team who can step up? Lamar's not perfect, Agro Valley Farm. And I think it's negligent to think of him as such or expect him to be. It's wonderful when he has a great game, but I mean, he's human. And Lamar did what he needed to do to try and put us in a situation where we could come back to win the game. He did. But what about Mark Andrews?
Right.
What are your thoughts about that? Because that's one thing I haven't seen you mention Agro Valley
Hmm.
Farm. You keep mentioning Lamar, and that's fine, but weigh in on Mark Andrews. That's what I want to hear.
And shout out to Tranisha. Yes, since when is the division more than the AFC and Super Bowl champs? Oh, yay, we got another division crown. What does that mean? We have another playoff flame out. And what?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess you can take small victories as they come. That's fine. But we have a bigger agenda here. Like the MVP. Cool. Get it? Yeah, whatever. We have a bigger agenda. We want to win championships. This is not about regular season champs. This is about winning championships. And it's something we haven't done since 2012. And if you
Yeah.
tell me that you still believe that John Harbaugh can get this done for this team, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself if you believe he can get this team over the hump, because he's proven over the last 7 seasons he's not the man to get it done after the regular season ends. You're right. Now we gotta watch Mahomes. Now we gotta watch Taylor Swift go back to the Super Bowl.
And
Why
it's
we
not even
gotta see
just
that?
Taylor Swift now. She's got a BFF
Oh,
in Caitlin Clark. Agro Valley Farm, he says Harbaugh has to go, but I can't give Lamar any pass because he still hasn't proven himself in the playoffs. I'm
thanks.
not saying to give Lamar a pass. I'm certainly not. I hope that's not the message I'm conveying. I'm saying let's be fair in our distribution of blame. Let's not like just say, oh, well, Harbaugh is terrible and Lamar is terrible too.
Right.
Well, wait. Um, we have some pass catchers that were terrible, and they matter as well.
I got a good question. I'm sorry, I got a good question for you. So okay, Agro. Lamar and Mark Andrews were drafted in the exact same draft. They came in the exact same draft. How many playoff touchdowns does Lamar have? And how many playoff touchdowns does Mark Andrews have?
Hmm.
I don't really I could give you a ballpark figure on Lamar. It's around 20, approximately, maybe 17, around 20. I can definitively tell you Mark Andrews has 0 touchdowns during the playoffs. But we're not giving him any blame. Like, he doesn't carry any burden of us not making it anywhere because he can't do anything in the playoffs. He averages 39 yards. It may be bumped up to 41 now, per yards per game during the playoffs with 0 touchdowns. And this was as Lamar Jackson's go-to guy in the early years. Before the Ravens had wide receivers, everyone says, well, Mark is Lamar's go-to guy. You got to keep him around. Well, what did he do in the playoffs? Because you couldn't go to him in the playoffs because he was nowhere to be found. Just like this game. Yeah, he had a couple good catches, but he fumbled. He fumbled when we were going to take the lead. When we went to tie the game at the end, he dropped the ball wide open. Nobody hit him. He was there by himself. So when does he get some of this blame? Yes, Lamar has to take blame for what he did, but Lamar put us in position to take this game to overtime. What did Mark Andrews
Yeah.
do? He put this game in position for us to sit at home and him to hide from the cameras. So if you want to start blaming people, blame everybody. Just don't be selective in the people that you want to call out. Call out everyone.
Yeah. Go, man, something to build upon. Well, you know what? My thought to that is we've been building for a long time now. And at some point, you want the building to, the edifice, the structure that you're building, you just want it to be complete at some point. It's like, okay, imagine if you're building a house and you're really excited about that house. And 4 or 5
Right.
years later, the builder says, we're still working on it. We're going to get, this house finished for you real soon. Well, when is that going to happen? When you start to get frustrated with that and almost like, okay, well, you keep building, well, are you ever going to get to a point of completion, or we just going to be in the building phase for the rest of our lives? So we had something to build upon last year when we had the best defense in the league, and that's kind of my thought with that. At some point, I want to see us go from we're working on it to we're doing better to we're improving to we're building on it to actually we got over the hump and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Because right now, I can't see it.
Go
Um,
man, you need to bottle whatever you have. That
yeah,
positivity that you have, you need to bottle it and sell it. Because I don't know where that's coming from. We need to build on what we should have built on was 2019 when Lamar Jackson came in and showed the world he was a passing quarterback, not just a runner. And instead of building around him, giving him the wide receiver core and the offensive line that we needed to build upon this offense, we decided to go more defense. And after that, we decided to go even more defense. Now, we threw in a couple of wide receivers here. We drafted a tight end there. We brought in some guys that we knew weren't going to make the team. But that was the time we were to build on Lamar Jackson and his talents. And we didn't do that at that time. We still thought defense was the way to go and bring in any type of running back and they would do fine and go someplace in the playoffs, which they did not go. That was the time for us to build upon it. Not now. Not 7 years later after many playoff failures. It's the time to build upon something. Those years have come and gone. Lamar is going to go into his 8th year. What are we to build on? A step back from the AFC Championship? A step back from a dominating defense to a middle of the pack defense? What are we building upon? That's all I want to
know. Agro Valley Farms, he said, yeah, he mentioned earlier that both Lamar and Andrews cost us the game. I have a hard time saying that they cost us the game because our defense didn't do anything to help us win the game. So it's 6 in one basket, half a dozen in the other, in my opinion, right? It's not one player, 2 players. They're the reason that we lost the game. They might be a significant contribution to why we lost, but how many turnovers did our defense get tonight? That could have helped us. How many stops, or how many sacks did we get on Josh Allen? That could have helped us.
Yeah.
So
Jerry,
we have some super chats coming in.
Jerry called that man Goof Troop.
Die Hard Eddie with a $5 donation. He said Lamar started the game off good. Defense just can't get any turnovers or pressure on the QB. Facts. Mm-hmm. Facts. He started off good. Then he made a couple of mistakes. One of them was a costly one. And he got his head back in the game and tried to will this team to victory. And it just wasn't enough. It was not enough. But thank you for the donation. We have a $5 donation coming in from David Hunt. He said, for the vegan ice cream fund, I need some. That's what I need. Some vegan ice cream. That sounds delicious.
Listen, yes. I got some Ben & Jerry's in the freezer. Thank you for reminding me. At Ben & Jerry's in the freezer, and it's actually Colin Kaepernick. It's the Colin Kaepernick one. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we could have used them. I joke. I kid.
Thank you for the donation. Jared Green with a $2 super chat. Man, get John and his goof troop out of here. A goof troop. I can't even argue the point. I can't.
I can't wait to see his press conference. And I'm going to sit. I don't normally watch John Harbaugh press conferences, but I'm going to sit there and listen to everything that he says out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fernando. If we don't lose to the Raiders or the Browns, we're playing at home. I still think we lose the game. I don't think that playing at Buffalo had any factor at all. I think it was just the way that we played. And yes, Roquan does act like he's Ray Lewis, and he's not even close. He's not even Ray Davis.
Oh boy. This has just been.
We could go all night. I had planned on doing like an 8-hour post Super Bowl game stream. Not now. Not now.
No.
I might not even be watching the Super Bowl. I don't even watch football, period. Personally.
I don't either. Well, I do because I want to see what happens next week. I do. I'm interested to see. Oh well. Go Man says, I'm hurt like everybody else, but it will be okay.
It will be. We'll get over it, and we'll go into next season with the same optimism we normally have. John Harbaugh is going to lead this team to a 13-12 win season. We're going to get in the playoffs, win a wild card game, and then crap the bed against the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I agree with you, Agnes. No building with this ownership or organization. So yeah, we don't have much to build upon if we
No, put that back up.
Agnes?
Yes, Agnes. She's slick. Agnes thinks she's slick. I see what you did there, Agnes. No building with O&O. Owe and Ojabo.
I should not.
Yeah, I see what you're doing, Agnes. I see what you did there. You just didn't want to hurt her feelings, so you said organization, and I get it. Ojabo and O. It's no building with them. They provide no pass rush. Virtually,
Yeah.
they're out there stealing money.
Just like a lot of other players are. What is Marcus Williams doing?
Marcus Williams wasn't the first round pick though.
Okay, but how much is he getting paid?
Still wasn't the first round
Exactly.
pick though.
Okay. Yeah, Agro Valley Farm says we got a touchdown in the third quarter when we played to our strength. Right. But I mean, some of that Agro Valley Farm has to fall on the coaches too. Play
Facts.
calling,
Hmm.
right? Some of that has to fall on the play calling. And he says he agrees. Defense did not play at an elite level. They didn't
Boy, it
even
ain't very good.
do. I would even say, I would even take slightly above average, not even elite. Like I would, if they played at a B plus or maybe an A minus, I'd have been
Like,
happy with that.
yeah, no worry. We got help is on its way. This offseason, we gonna pick up Matt Judon, and y'all gonna say EDC cooking,
Don't
and
you start that? Don't you start it?
we're gonna be in the same position next year because we didn't sign some over the hill guy that just can't do it anymore.
Tranisha, she says she has to go put in emergency leave from this loss. She needs to just, I get it.
So I'm saying I might have to call out from work.
No.
First of all, I shouldn't be working anyway. It's MLK Day, so
mm, mm. Oh, well, Steve-O, you don't really mean that.
yes, you do, Steve-O. Go
No.
away. Go away. That's his name. Gonna be his name from now on. Go away. Or no way. Hey, how we gonna get a sack? No way. Possible.
This game drained me. This one. They did extend OA.
But he got his fifth. They picked
He
up his
got
fifth
his
year
yeah, right. They picked up his 5th-year option.
but they can extend him to kind of take the cap hit down. So depending upon the money we have left, they may extend him to lower his cap hit because I think his cap hit is like 15 mil or something like that. But yeah, Lasky man, we need receivers, and we've always needed receivers. But no, we were told we need more cornerbacks.
Yeah, that bad snap from Tyler Linderbaum. Lamar tried to save it, and he did. It's what he did after he saved it. He fumbled it. It's like, wait, what? So
Dang, static. Hollywood Brown still has more playoff yards for the Ravens than Mark Andrews. When was
I
the
think
last time that Hollywood played for the Ravens?
what 2 years ago, 3. Has it been 3 years now? I think it's been
Oh,
three
yeah.
years.
Yeah, because
3
Linderbaugh, they
because he
traded him for
played.
Linderbaugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he
Traded him for
played two
Linderbaugh.
years with the Arizona, and now this year with Kansas City. So yeah, it's been 3 years.
And Mark Andrews still isn't close to him. That's crazy to me. Lamar's go-to guy, Mr. Clutch.
Mm, Let me get through some of these super chats. Ah, gosh. Die Hard Eddie said $5, and he said, "Yeah, offense play calling was sometimes a head scratcher. Even the commentator said you can't be too cute." That's what I'm
That's
saying. So some of this falls on. That's what I'm saying. There's enough blame to go around. Was there lack of execution tonight? Yes. Were there some questionable play calls? Yes. It's a little bit of it all.
that's why I say it's a total team loss. Like
Yeah.
we failed in every aspect of this game. Every aspect, from
Terrible.
coaching, the special teams, offense, defense, everything. We failed as a collective.
For sure. For sure. Nigerian Nightmare, thank you for coming through with its $2 donation. A shot every time Taylor Swift is on the screen. Oh boy.
You gonna be wasted.
Because between she and now Caitlin Clark hanging out. So,
Yeah.
well,
Oh,
family, yeah, we could have had Devontae Adams.
we could have had so many people.
Yeah. Wow. Hollywood. See, Static, you're coming out with all the real facts. The ones that are real painful. Can't argue with you, though, because you're right. Hollywood was more productive in 2 playoff runs than Andrews has been in 7.
But y'all hated Hollywood though.
I was upset when we lost Hollywood, honestly.
Yeah, y'all hated him though.
Yeah. Midnight Maverick, crazy. We still had a chance. Anytime we have 8, I think we have a chance. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Be a lot different if he had real weapons.
And
What? That's all right. When we get T Higgins next year, things are gonna be a little bit different. What we need T Higgins for? We got to stay flying with him for Tom Bateman.
chaos. I doubt it. I don't think
Hey,
it's
it's coming.
Commanders. Mm-mm,
It's coming.
mm-mm, mm-mm,
So
mm-mm.
you think? Listen, y'all keep sleeping on this Chiefs defense. Y'all keep sleeping on the Chiefs. First and foremost, the Commanders have to get past Philly.
I think they are that I think they're going to be able to do. That I'm not I, I was more concerned with the Commanders last night than I am with Philly.
Okay.
And then when I saw them last night, I said, "All right. Yeah, I think yeah." Because Philly didn't look great. Philly did
Okay.
not look great. So,
Washington went up against a banged up defense. Okay, wow, yes, amazing. We'll see. And yes, yes, I do think Harbaugh's gone. I think he's going to step down and go somewhere else because all he's doing right now is tainting his own legacy. He's tainting his own legacy. You've had some of the best teams in the NFL and you've wasted them for years.
why would he step down?
Listen, just because somebody's in a good situation, don't think that everybody wants to stay in a situation just because it's comfortable to them. He also knows his legacy is tied to this. He knows his legacy is tied to playoff failures. He knows that the fan base is getting tired of him because he's getting tired of the fan base. He may what I'm telling you, he's going to step down and they're going to mutually part ways, and it's going to be his idea, and he's going to go to another team. And all the people that say, "Well, they'll swoop John Harbaugh up in a minute," good for them. Have fun with your regular season success and your playoff failures to whatever team he goes to. Have fun.
And I'm going to counter that with pride is a beast. And that's a very, in my opinion, he's a very proud man. He's a very prideful individual.
Okay.
So pride would have to let him walk away. If I mentioned this a while ago, I said, I can see John Harbaugh leaving if we win the Super Bowl, because then it's like, hey, you guys talked all this about me, said I couldn't do it. I just proved you wrong. I'm out. But
This
I don't
loss
know.
has nothing to do with Harbaugh. So you telling me after 7 years, losing the exact same way has nothing to do with the head coach? Having Derrick Henry, who almost rushed for 2,000 yards this season, run the ball 16 times, and him not saying anything to his offensive coordinator has nothing to do with him. Him not stepping in with his defensive coordinator and saying, "Yo, what are you doing? The middle of the field is exposed and we can't stop the run." That has nothing to do with the head coach. But yet and still we lose the same way each and every playoff time with different players, with different assistant coaches. But it has nothing to do with the head guy.
Hmm. Hmm. I agree with you, Warren Smith. Good evening, and thank you for being here. Likely should be tight end number one. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I think Tranisha had a question. Who is on the market for coaching that we can get?
Don't
I
know and
don't
don't
know.
care.
Yeah.
I'll take I've always said Brian Flores. Give me somebody that knows offense or knows defense, somebody that can give input when things are not going correctly. Give me somebody that wants to win and has the capability to change. Give me a head coach that doesn't have a doghouse, that puts his better players in there and don't put them in games and he's trying not to win games because his ego or his pride. Give me somebody that's flexible, because you cannot, and I said this earlier, you cannot give John Harbaugh credit for the wins and then say that he has no hand in the losses. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. He's the reason that we win, but we lose is everybody else, right?
Osmond is here. Thank you for joining the show. Subtract Mark Can't Drews. Mm.
Turnovers did lose us this game, but what about us not adjusting to stopping the run? That didn't play a part in it. That had no issue in it. Us not running the ball like we've been doing all season long. That didn't play a part in us losing, huh? It was just all the turnovers. That was the only reason that we lost. What are you talking about?
Hmm.
Did you watch the game? Or are you just speculating because you're a hardball guy?
Get some sleep, Devin. Get some
Okay.
rest. Take care. Get some rest. I'm sleepy too. We're going to say goodnight in just a bit, but uh wow. I'm upset. Very upset, But Sleeping Lady, never seen the Avatar. Thank
Hey,
you for being here. Close game, not easy to win in Buffalo. Playmakers failed in key moments. That's it. And the Bills were the better team. 0 turnovers. They protected the ball. They did what they needed to do. I mean,
sleepy lady, appreciate you, but guess what? It is easy to win in Buffalo. The last two divisional round opponents beat them in Buffalo. We just were the ones that didn't.
I agree with you, Agro. Valley Farm, I don't think Harbaugh is leaving. I don't. The only way he's going to leave is if either one or two things. Either Harbs wants to leave
That's what I
or,
said.
right. Speaking to what he was saying, or the owner wants him to leave. That's it.
Well, what's the third option?
The fan base riots and he gets up out of here. That's it. Wait, he said fire Monken too?
Facts.
Wait, okay. Okay.
Facts.
Mm, 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 mm.
This is 100%. This super chat is 100% on point.
Take care,
All right.
33 Lady Ram. We appreciate you for being here. We do have another super chat coming in from Tensei. I hope I pronounced that right. Tensei, $2 super chat. No team can beat the Ravens like Baltimore.
Facts.
Let me star that one because that is
That's 100% correct.
1000% correct. Thank you for the donation, but thank you for the speaking the truth because that is it.
Keep Monken. Keep him for what? You see the type of games that he calls. He'll have some amazing games. Tom Monk will have some games where you're like, he called that perfectly. But when the stakes are at its highest, this is what we get.
But I wonder how much of that is because his hands are tied. Because
Okay.
John Harbaugh, but my point is if we had a different head coach and we kept Monken, a head coach who gave Todd Monken the latitude to call plays the way he wants, do you think the outcome would be different?
I don't care. I'm coming
Okay.
in to be the head coach. I don't want your trash. I want to bring in my offensive coordinator. I don't want your trash.
Okay. Okay.
He's a part of your regime. He's a part of the reason that we keep going through these same tendencies because we keep hiring John Harbaugh type people. I'm coming
Mm,
in to be the head coach. If Bashadi says you got to keep these people around, I don't want this job. I want to bring in my guys that I know are going to get the best out of Lamar and his talents. Not the
mm-hmm.
guys, not the guys that are going to do what I tell them to do. You're the offensive coordinator. If you don't have the stones to push back on your head coach and say, you know what, I don't think that this is what we should be doing and call your game plan. Because what's going to happen is when things get bad, John Harbaugh is going to fire the offensive coordinator like he has throughout his history. John's going
Mm,
to keep his job. The offensive coordinator is going to be gone. If I'm going to get fired, I'm getting fired on my own accord. I'm going to get fired doing what I do my way. You're going to fire me for my lack of, not because I didn't do what you said. If I go out that way, I'm cool with it. But I'm not going to get fired because you wanted to do it like this and it doesn't work out.
yeah. Well, I mean, give me your final takeaways, everyone in the chat, because bring this, we're going to get ready to land this plane, bring this plane on home. Final takeaways from this game. Hendo.
Same thing every year.
Hmm.
Pretty much. It's the same thing. Same way. Lack of running the ball, lack of in game adjustments, turnovers, being undisciplined. It's the same stuff. It is what it is.
Hmm. I guess my takeaway is either we make some changes or I don't have a lot of high expectation moving forward.
It
Yeah.
is what it
It
is. But
is
I
what
would
it is.
but I will tell you this though. I can tell you that it's been a little it's been an ongoing thing for the past few years. But it's a lot of empty seats at the bank. A
Hmm.
lot of empty seats at the bank. And if this loss is a deterrent for people coming to see this team, they're going to stop coming to these games, and it's going to force Bashadi to make a change. Because Bashadi, all he don't care about championships. He cares about revenue. And if this stadium starts to become empty, he will make a change.
Ugh. Well, family, we are going to get ready to say goodnight. I'm exhausted. I'm tired, unhappy, sad, mad, you name it, disappointed.
Thanks.
So, um, we appreciate you, the comedian Mo Brown.
Hey,
Thank you for coming by. Final thoughts, aka DLA says coaching changes and draft a tight end.
we
Bills are
got two tight
hungrier.
ends. We got two tight ends, Charlie Kolar and Isaiah Likely. We don't need another tight end. We good.
Yeah,
Draft or trade for a stud wide receiver that you know is going to make those catches. Pair him
yeah,
with Zay and Bateman.
yeah. Do you have another super chat coming through? And this $2 donation from Gnosis Jones. Monken is running the same offense that Roman ran. That's why I'm saying how much of this is on Monken versus how much of this is because of John Harbaugh.
Once again, as a grown man, I'm not going to sit here and watch my team fail. I know the history of the Ravens. I know what we did last season. I was the offensive coordinator, and I called your plays, John Harbaugh, and look where it got us. So this time around, I got head coaching offers on board. So if I'm going out, I'm going out with my play calling. I'm not going out with your play calling. And I've always said that there is a variation of the Ravens offense, no matter the offensive coordinator. The only time we didn't run that variation was when we had Gary Kubiak as our offensive coordinator. Joe Flacco had his best year as a quarterback. But outside of that, we run the same type offense. So yes, Monken was limited, but
Yeah,
bring me somebody in here that's going to speak up for himself.
yeah,
Not somebody that was a family hire. Not somebody that's gonna sit back and like, I'm glad you gave me this job, bro. I appreciate you. No, I need somebody that's like, yo, do you want to win a title or what? Or are we gonna do things your way and continue to go out the same way each and every year? I need that offensive coordinator. Somebody that's gonna push back.
yeah. Take care of yourself, CB Alexander.
Appreciate it.
Um, that's all I can say. I wish you all the best.
Oh my gosh. Am I supposed to cry? I lost a subscriber because you can't handle somebody's opinion. Wah.
Anyway,
Wah.
I,
But my thing is this. My thing is this. If you're gonna unsubscribe to somebody because you don't like what they're saying, that's cool. I don't have any beef against you. But as a grown man, I don't need to tell you I'm unsubscribing. I'm just gonna unsubscribe. Do you want sympathy? Do you want pity? Do you want me to help you move from your mother's basement? What do you want? Like, what do you want from us telling us you're unsubscribing? Because you're not hurting my feelings. My team hurts my feelings each and every year. I'm unsubscribing. Wah. Goodbye.
all right, family. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for
Yes,
being
they
here.
do.
It's been a year,
Yes, it has.
and now our season is over. So
Yes, yes it
let that
has.
sink in. Let that sink in. Our season is over. So with that, we are going to say goodnight. We appreciate all of you. Um, you'll see us soon.
You ain't gonna see me. Be hiding.
Might take
I'm
a
going,
little bit of a break, but
I'm
we'll
going
certainly
into
be back. This is tough, and but um, yeah, something that I'm going to need to take some time to kind of process. But at any rate, um, we will see you soon, family. Hendo, any parting words before we go?
I just want to apologize. Like, if I don't want to come off abrasive, I do apologize if I do that sometimes. Like, it's just, to me, I just think that grown men should act a certain way. Take your panties out a bunch, adjust your bra, and get out your feelings. That's all.
All right. You all are very welcome. We see all of you. We appreciate the
Appreciate y'all.
kind words. Thank you. Thank you.
It's been an
All
amazing
right.
season.
It has. You all take care of yourselves. It's tough, but we're still going to stay together. We're going to still, still be one flock. Even if we disagree, that's okay. I appreciate all of you. Take care, family.